Did anyone else watch Rings of Power except me? Man, that show was so good. So good, in fact, that it reminded me of a game. A game with systems so well designed that they got locked away in copyright hell, never to emerge again.
Right lord, dark lord. Same thing really.
Middle-earth, Shadow of War. And, by extension, Shadow of Mordor. I just think the second game is better, even with the issues. Let's start at the beginning. No character creation this time, unfortunately, because we're playing as Talion, a ranger of Gondor who has sworn revenge against Sauron. We are also playing as Celebrimbor, the dude who made the rings. He's a bit more,
Witness the rise of Mordor! Witness the rise of the bright lord!
angry than in Rings of Power. He's a ghostly dude on a mission. So, we have our two protagonists, who both want to get down and dirty with Sauron. Wait, so what happened in the first game? They make a new ring in the first game. Super cool. But it gets stolen. That's bad. But Shelob's a sexy woman. Ooh, that's good. But we don't have time to worry about getting our ring back, because Gondor is in trouble. It's very fun. And Talion is a really good boy who wants to he just wants to save people, guys. He just really wants to save people. Act 1. The Siege of Minas Ithil. This is definitely a tutorial zone. It's a long tutorial zone, but it is definitely a tutorial. Because without the ring, we're left with only half the mechanics at our disposal. Let's talk about the basic gameplay, shall we? You can run, jump, climb, and slay Uruks. The movement is very reminiscent of Assassin's Creed. Shadow of Mordor came out in 2014, just at the height of the yearly Assassin's Creed games. So you can see where the inspiration comes from. It is just so damn fun to run and jump and climb across all the various maps of Mordor. Later on, you can unlock even more ways to get around, from this ghostly double jump and quick time speed boost to riding Graugs, Caragors, and Drakes. The combat is most definitely Arkham combat. If you recall Arkham combat, I definitely do, I love those games. Press Y to counter. You will be seeing this constantly. It seems simplistic, but if you haven't played it, oh my god, you feel so cool countering hordes of enemies. Unfortunately, the game's smart, and there will be Uruks that can't be countered, so you have to find out their weaknesses and exploit them. Sometimes it's vaulting over them, sometimes it's stunning them, and other times it's best to run away and hide for a stealth attack. Stealth gameplay is pretty core to Shadow of War. You can always go in guns blazing, but very often it's worth taking it slow and planning your attack, because of the Nemesis system. The Nemesis system is still one of the coolest game systems I have ever experienced. When I first played Shadow of Mordor, I was convinced that this system alone would revolutionize the video game industry. But those bastards over at Warner Bros. Copyrighted the system, so it's kind of died off, with only a few games attempting something similar, but more on that later. What is the Nemesis system, I hear you asking? Well, here's a layman's attempt at explaining it. The Nemesis system remembers each and every major player in the world and won't forget them. Each zone has its own hierarchy of orcs, all the way from captains to warlords, and each of them have their own personality, strengths, and weaknesses. The best part is that any Uruk in the world can become a captain. It allows every enemy to feel important. I think showing is better than telling, so let's die to a random grunt orc and see what kind of captain he becomes.
Look at you. You're just a lump of dead meat, ready to be butchered.
Wow, rude. But now we know his name is Flog. Flog now has to fight his way into the upper ranks. Looks like he won and became a captain, but that's no good. He has humiliated us. Let us track him down and get our revenge.
You want some?
Ah, he led me into a trap.
But I bled the life out of you the last time I killed you, Zitar.
Well, that went really badly, but we forgot one key detail: information. We don't know anything about Flog, and that makes him dangerous. Before we get our revenge, let's gather some intel. Luckily, there was some intel nearby. You can gather intel from finding it out in the world like this, or from interrogating worms, the weak-willed Uruks. From this intel, it looks like Flog is mortally weak to beasts. Let's abuse this. In fact, I'd say you have to abuse this. Let's make sure to get his attention, and then shoot down this meat to draw in a Graug. And then all we have to do is watch our revenge be completed. That's so good, but you saw how much better it was to find intel and make sure you went into a fight with a plan. This is just one story of so many in this game. The main story is fine, but it's not why I love this game so much. It's the stories of the Uruks you find, fight, and recruit. That's right, I said recruit, my absolute favorite bit of this game. Unfortunately, we need our ring back to do this, so let's go get it back. To cut a really long story short, there's a traitor, and that causes the keep to fall to the Nazgul. There you go, I cut that down really short for you. It took extra long for me because I may have collected literally all the collectibles in the area, but now we have our ring back. Just give me the ring, finally! Build my army! So we can talk about the full breadth of the Nemesis system. As I already mentioned, each and every Uruk in the world has a personality, but it does not stop there. They will remember you, and you will remember them. There are countless ways for Uruks to interact with the player and each other, causing not only the playthrough to be unique, but the characters in the world are also unique to you. With such unique characters, it would be such a shame if we had to kill them, but luckily, you don't. After Act 1, you gain the ability to dominate orcs and bring them to your side. Once you've gathered enough Uruks, you can siege the enemy keep, take down the warlord, and install your own. This section of the game really feels like espionage. So fucking cool, man. You can send your men off to go assassinate other captains, infiltrate as spies, or just have them as your personal bodyguard. I love recruiting all the war chief's bodyguards so that when I confront him in his throne room, all of his men join me. A plan executed to perfection. It's not all smooth sailing though. This is a living, breathing set of systems. If you piss off your recruited Uruks, they might betray you. So you could never truly trust them. But now we know about recruiting, let's go through the process of capturing a keep, the main bulk of the gameplay in the latter half. Let's start by, oh, an ambush. How cute. Join me. Okay, now, with that distraction out of the way, time to replace all of the war chiefs with my own. When you send one of your Uruks to infiltrate, they have to prove themselves in the fighting pits. Does Asbro have what it takes? Yes. Now, we have one war chief under our control. Each war chief we add will make the siege later exponentially easier. We will need to install some spies to take down the other three. Let's start with Urdag. So, how about Grom and Crackhorn? Crackhorn.
Stabbing him.
He chopped his head off with it. Last but definitely not least, let's recruit his own bodyguard to our side. This guy looks so cool. With all our cards played, let's ambush him and... shit. He's level 29. That's a higher level than us, meaning we can't recruit him. For reasonable balance, you can only recruit Uruks that are your level or lower. All that prep and we can't even recruit him. Fine, let's shame him and reduce his level and we can get him later. With Urdag shamed, he's lost his position as war chief. So let's fill that position with one of our own. 2 down, 2 to go. If you don't set up elaborate ambushes, you can always attempt to lure them out of hiding with special missions. I've leveled up, so I'm able to recruit level 29s now. And damn it, guys, I might not be good, but I'm having fun. Luckily, the other war chief went much smoother. Recruiting montage!
I'll be your chosen! I will be your chosen!
Buying efforts is a wise choice!
I am yours! I await your command!
I think I've leveled up enough to get revenge on that bastard Garl.
You will serve me!
That went well. That went alright. With all 4 war chief slots filled, our preparations are almost complete. Oh, can't forget to get Urdag, now I'm a higher level.
I am yours, my lord!
And lastly, let's get some of our spies to act as bodyguards for the Overlord. Or Warlord, as I keep calling them. I've never had a draw before. This is a good opportunity to introduce training orders. They can be used to improve your recruits. Because this guy Drew, I think he only needs a small boost. Let's even the playing field and give him an Olog gang. Other upgrades include things like poison weapons and Karagor mounts. I like the customization this system gives. It allows you to empower your favorite characters. The downside is that you get them from loot boxes. Why they added loot boxes to this game, I'll never know. At least it's better than a battle pass. Anyway, back to the fight. Hey, he won this time! I sent not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 spies to become bodyguards for the Overlord. Why I did this will become obvious when we get there. That was a lot of prep, but let's do this thing. First, let's choose the Uruks that come with us, and then buy some extra help in the form of sappers and siege beasts. Because of all of our preparation, there's hardly anything in our way. All of the war chiefs are already ours, so all we have to do is capture the victory points and confront the Overlord.
They told you outside.
I play rough.
Oh no! Looks like he's surrounded by my men too. This should be easy. We now control this region and can install our own overlord. I pick this guy. He looks really cool. I think you should probably pick them based on how well they'll do in one-to-one fights with other players, because other players can siege you, but I like this guy. That was such a fun gameplay loop, accentuated by all the fun characters we got to recruit to our side. Let's see what it looks like if you don't prepare as much. It's harder. It's much harder. Especially when the Overlord is level 50, the fuck bro. Guys, that's basically it. We've gone through the basics of the system. If I've missed any details, let me know in the comments. I hope you can see how cool and unique this is. Imagine other games with this system. How about a crime game where you slowly build up a criminal gang by exploiting the weaknesses of your opponents and recruiting them to your side? How about a Fire Emblem style game, but your characters have so much more depth because their strengths and weaknesses are unique to them?
Ooh, how about Animal Crossing? I mean, everyone was complaining that the characters weren't fleshed out enough. Imagine if they got into actual feuds, or if you could send them off to do stuff, and they had actual attributes and character. Wouldn't that be great?
This kind of system can work with pretty much any game if done correctly, and it's such a shame that they copyrighted the system. The only other game I can think of that has attempted something similar was Assassin's Creed Odyssey with its bounty hunters. Pretty sure it's quite similar. I haven't played it in a while. I've heard rumblings that the Nemesis system might make a return with a new Wonder Woman game, but I have no clue how they're going to use it in that setting. I look forward to finding out. This video was supposed to be about the Nemesis system and how cool it is, but it's mostly turned into me rambling about a game I really like, and have been replaying. If you want me to ramble about a game you like, or at least play on stream, recommend them to me over on my Ko-fi. Speaking of games, I've gotten the first expansion of Guild Wars 2, so look forward to that video at some point in the future. I hope you enjoyed. If you disagree with me, or hate Shadow of War, let me know down in the comments. Or if you enjoyed the video, do that too. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe before watching all my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!